Today's show also brought to you by Project Game Day. It returns this Sunday. Immediately following Baltimore-Cincinnati, come hang out with us. PressBoxOnline.com/game day. Myself, Rita, Femi Ayambadejo, KZ, Stecca, Josh Charles, the whole crew. We'll be hanging out with you, hopefully talking about the Orioles getting over 500 for the first time this season and their first division game of the year. It's all brought to you by Easy Pass, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, BetYard AI, the Green Turtle Bet Park Sportsbooks in Towson and Canton, and the Maryland 5-Star. And with that in mind, we are only a couple of weeks away from the beginning of the Maryland 5-Star. And joining us now here on GCR, this man is the course builder for the Maryland 5-Star up at Fair Hill. He is Tyson Rementer, and he is with us here on the program. Tyson, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you. Thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes for us.
What's going on, Glenn? How are you?
Everything.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's great to chat with you, dude. I got to ask the question that I'm sure you get every time you do an interview. How does someone get into becoming a course builder for these types of equestrian events? Like, how does that become the path for you that you have become like the go-to guy in this business?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of types of carpentry that you can get involved in out there, but there are very few types of carpentry where 400 girls in tight pants will come to your work every weekend.
Now you know what? Now when you put it like that, how does someone get started?
Now this is a job for me right here. Right. My wife hates when I say that.
Yeah,
so.
My wife actually, believe it or not, is an equestrian. So
get out of here.
Yeah, legitimately.
So in all actuality, yeah, I started out riding and competing. I grew up in southern New Jersey, and there's a lot of Western riding down there. My parents were involved in Western riding and Western horse sports. And so we had horses growing up. I rode around, and in college, I discovered eventing. I did a bit of competing myself, but it turned out I was a little better at building the jumps than jumping over them. And so I transitioned from a riding career to a full-time course building career.
So this is the immediate follow-up that I have. What kind of psychopath are you? Because I was out there at Fair Hill last year for the event, and my friend John Maroon took me. He threw me in a cart. He said, "Dude, you got to see, like, before the event starts, and you need to see up close and personal how crazy this is." And he took me by a couple of these jumps, and holy hell. These are nuts. What kind of screws are loose in your brain? What,
even now, I mean, I've been at this full time for 20 years, and it's still, when you get to these 5-star level competitions, it is some of them I still walk up to and think, this looks impossible. I can't imagine that they can do this. But these horses and these riders, like I've said before, like they're not thoroughbreds. They're not race horses where they're 2 and 3 years old. Some of these horses that are competing are well into their teens, 15, 16 years old, and they develop these relationships over the course of more than a decade with these riders, getting up to this level. I have an 11-year-old who's a gymnast, and if you watch the Olympic level gymnasts, you think, how in the world do they get to that level? But when you watch someone like my son who started at 5 years old and you see the progression, it's like it's just like anything else, that it takes a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. Both the horses and the riders, they work years and years and years to get to this level. And when you see them do it, they make it look easy. But you walk up to these jumps on foot, it is absolutely unbelievable.
So tell me about how you go about building the course. Like when you find out that this is going to be your role with an event, again, one of the biggest events in the world, what is the thought process? How do you go through building a course?
Yeah, the first conversations start now. I'm the course builder, and I work with the course designer.
Right.
And so it's sort of like an architect and a home builder relationship, where the course designer lays out the plan, and then we work within the budget to get all the jumps built. And we start literally as soon as the competition this year ends. We start planning for next year. We have our first big on-site meeting in January. This year we did it in 2 feet of snow. We walk around, we lay out the track, we measure. The course has to be a required distance. There's a required distance, there's a required number of jumping efforts, required heights and spreads for all these fences. So we do a big planning trip in January. The course designer, who is from Scotland, Ian Stark, he flies over again in March. We do another big planning meeting in March where we really dial in all the details. And then the first week of May, when the grass gets growing, that's when we do any earthwork that needs to be done, any groundwork. We start we start with that so that the sod can be good and established by the fall. And then I'll do 2 or 3 other big construction visits in the summer where we'll do the rest of the building, and the course designer will come and he sort of previews all the work as it's getting done. And then this last trip, which we just completed last week, we're setting all the portable fences into place. We're setting them up to height.
Okay.
We're making sure all the combinations are the right distance. Like if you're jumping one fence and then another, a horse takes a 12-foot stride. So you need to make sure that it's on an appropriate distance so that the horses will meet them in the correct place and be given every opportunity to jump them safely. And then the course designer, he'll go away again. And then we start the process of decorating all these fences, flagging every one of the fences. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
That part, but we're chatting with Tyson Rementer. He's the course builder for the Maryland 5-Star, Maryland5star.us. That's what the number 5, Maryland5star.us. Tickets available for the Maryland 5-Star October 17th or 20th up at Fair Hill in Cecil County. One of my favorite things about checking out the course was you talk about designing, how much local flair was incorporated into the jumps, into the various obstacles on the course. How much fun has that been for you, and why was that so important for this event to reflect Maryland, to reflect this region?
That's right. There's only 7 5-star events in the world. So if you miss out on this one that's in Cecil County, you're going to England, you're going to Germany, you're going to France, you're going to Australia. So they're not nearby. We have one in Lexington, Kentucky, but that is it. And so we really want to showcase the local community. We really want to showcase what Cecil County, what the greater Baltimore area has, because we're showing this off to the world. And so we put in these jumps that look like the Orioles. We've got a Camden Yards themed fence. We try to bring in a lot of the local flavor and just that Cecil County countryside. Even if you're from Baltimore, you might not realize what a gem you have over there at the Fair Hill Natural Resources Management Area. It's thousands and thousands of acres, 90 miles of trails, open to the public. Come walk your dog, ride your horse, ride your bike. I mean, it really is a gem in close proximity, not only to Baltimore, but Philadelphia and realistically New York City. I mean, it is in the middle of a major metropolitan area, and you have this absolutely beautiful countryside. And I think everybody in the world deserves to see it for what it is. Cecil County has quite a gem there, Fair Hill.
And the event itself is so cool. Obviously, it's not just the eventing, it's not just the cross country, but all the shopping and the Corgi Cup, and they just make it an incredible family event. So when
bring if the wife and the kids are into want to see the horses, get out there, and Dad, you won't be bored. You got beer to drink, and there's trade fairs, and there's great food. There's something for everyone. It's open to the public. I mean, there's plenty of room. Like I said, Fair Hill is thousands and thousands of acres. Bring your kids, bring grandma, bring the dog. Everyone is welcome. It really is a great event.
Tyson, when do you get to breathe? When do you get to sort of wash your hands and say, I've done everything I can do. It's now up to when do you get to have a moment to have respite in this process?
Yeah, well, I like to watch the last horse jump the first fence, and I know the end is near there. It's that we're almost done, because it is a whole year long getting ready for this thing, and it's nerve-wracking even for me. I know I don't have to jump the jumps, but I'm fully invested in this whole thing. Like I said, I rode a bit when I was younger, and I know what it takes to get to this level. I know how much they're stressing out about it. I know how much thought and care the course designer, the organizers, that everybody puts into it. And so it's a great big sigh of relief when the thing is over and we can all celebrate what a great event it's been.
Dude, it's obviously it's an amazing event. It's a beautiful facility. And the work that you guys do is just impeccable, man. It's really phenomenal.
Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate it.
Tyson, greatly appreciate taking the time for us. Looking forward to getting back up to Fair Hill myself. That was my first taste last year, and I said, boy, I will be back. This is a special event.
And
so,
you said your wife's a bit of equestrian, so bring her by. We'll introduce you to Ian Stark, our course designer.
Oh, she'd love that.
Final year.
Yeah, she had such a fun time up there last year. She's all, that's her world, dude. It's not mine, but I am happy. Whatever part of it I can sort of pretend I can soak up from her, I do. But, we will make sure that happens. That would be awesome, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Tyson.
No doubt. Thank you, Glenn. Have a good one, guys.
Awesome. That's Tyson Rementer, the course builder for the Maryland 5-Star, coming up. Give it a little bit of time, right? It's not this weekend, But we're going to start getting you ready for it now, obviously. But 2 weekends from this weekend, Maryland5star.us is the website, October 17th through 20th. Really a special event. Encourage you to get up there and check it out.